This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Striking city workers in Portland reach a new contract deal. We'll tell you what's in it and what still has to happen before it's official. Hear from both sides coming up in a few minutes.
And the Rose City getting a women's basketball team may be in reach. The WNBA commissioner will be in Portland a little bit later today, what she's expected to talk about.
And we are live this morning at Proud Mary's Coffee's Portland Cafe on Northeast Alberta, where they are selling a cup of coffee today for $150.
Woo!
Oh, yeah. Now, not every cup of coffee there will cost $150, but a special cup will. It's made with special beans.
Special beans.
Reported on by a special man. His name is Rod Hill. You may have heard of him. Rod has that report from Proud Mary Coffee coming up at 5:15.
Wait a minute, you tasted the $150 coffee?
I thought about tasting the $150 cup of coffee. No, the deal was they didn't want to open, understandably so, they didn't want to open up that pound of coffee they purchased until this morning for the people they're going to pay $150 per cup to try, which makes sense. We did try one that once upon a time sold for $6,000 for a pound of coffee.
I can't imagine.
What?
Okay, I can't wait for your review.
Go ahead and touch me if you like.
Bam.
Drinker of once upon a time
How about this?
$6,000 pound of coffee right here. My name's Rod Hill. That's going to be a fun story coming up of coffee tasting, much like we think of wine tasting or maybe fine bourbon tasting. All right, rain showers on the radar behind me, and actually the rain has really picked up. I mean, it's wet more than not now near downtown all the way off of the coast. This will pass. I mean, overall today we expect it to be cloudy with some rain, but not a lot around, and a pretty quiet day. Temperatures are comfortable right now, 44. Will be 48 at noon. We get up to about 50 for a high. Our next storm front comes in tomorrow, and it could be a decent one. That's coming up in my complete forecast.
Okay, thank you, Rod. We begin with breaking news out of Turkey and Syria this morning. At 2:45 our time this morning, another 7.5 magnitude earthquake rocked the country. This less than 12 hours after a 7.8 quake hit that area. The initial quake happened around 5:30 p.m. our time yesterday. More than 1,300 people have died in both Turkey and Syria. Pictures show, collapsed buildings, tons of rubble, and cars just crushed under the debris. Right now, crews are searching for any survivors.
Back here closer to home this morning, the Clark County Sheriff's Office says 2 teens are responsible for a crash that caused this home to burst into flames last night. You can see this video that was sent to us by one of our viewers. Deputies say there was a 5-year-old inside that home at the time, but thankfully that 5-year-old only suffered minor injuries. The suspects, meanwhile, ran from the crash but were later arrested. They are 17 years old and 14 years old, both teenagers charged with driving under the influence, possession of a stolen motor vehicle, and intimidating a public servant.
But it's been an exciting time just to see all the members of this union coming together.
After 3 days of striking, the union representing city workers in Portland reached a tentative agreement with the city. This strike ended early yesterday morning.
Yeah, but this agreement is still tentative until Portland City Council approves it. Bryant Clerkley spoke to workers at a rally last night who say this is still a huge win.
When public services are under attack, what do? Stand up, fight back. That's right.
After 3 days of striking, finally a tentative agreement. Workers in wastewater treatment, pollution testing, street maintenance, and park ranger services have reached an agreement with the city of Portland. One of the most important parts of this tentative agreement is a 13% salary increase for all Portland city laborers by July 1st of 2023. At a rally in North Portland Sunday evening, you could feel the relief in the air.
It's been really invigorating to see people feel their own power and recognize their value to the city in a way the city wouldn't.
They want you with your hands on your tools for as long as possible, for as little pay as they can give you.
During the rally, you could see city workers holding up signs that said solidarity with essential workers and city workers make the city work. Other parts of the agreement include increases in standby pay and increases in annual work hours for seasonal park rangers. Negotiations between union representatives and the city had gone on for about 10 months.
It's also going to help the city financially. because they're not going to lose quality people. They're not going to struggle with the costs of recruitment and retaining. They're not going to struggle with the high cost of low morale, where people do the bare minimum.
The work isn't all the way done, but phew, we get to take a breath.
In a statement, the city said, "We're grateful that we were able to maintain the essential services Portlanders rely on every day. We're also grateful that we can welcome our colleagues back to work." Killian Haas is an arborist with the city of Portland.
Especially with the cost of living, if you don't get it now, then you lose it every year. For this, and the same concept on saving money early for retirement. You don't want to lose money on your pay early in your career. And we feel that if we didn't address it now, then it would get worse and it'd be harder to climb up that hill and make up the difference.
Bryant Clerkley, KGW News.
The union still has to ratify this new contract. That vote is scheduled for next week.
Gresham fire crews honored firefighter Brandon Norbury yesterday. Norbury died of cardiac arrest during a training session on Friday.
There's a great deal of tradition and honor that goes with a line of duty death, such as Brandon's was. And as we think about it, it was less than 48 hours ago. So there's been some grieving, some people learning to cope. We'll do our very best to honor his service.
The fire chief also spoke about Norbury's life of service, sharing that he was a Navy SEAL and a police officer in Gresham. Sunday's procession followed Norbury to Lincoln Memorial Funeral Home in Portland. Meanwhile, family, friends, fellow firefighters also honored Jeremy Quimby. Quimby was a firefighter and paramedic in Lake Oswego for 13 years. His family, friends, and firefighters celebrated him at a funeral service at Sherwood High yesterday. They say Quimby was pure light in this world. Quimby died at his home of cardiac arrest early last month.
The commissioner of the WNBA will be in Portland today. She's here to participate in a roundtable discussion about women's sports in Oregon.
So her visit started speculation about Portland getting another WNBA team. Devin Haskins is here this morning with more. Good morning, Devin.
Yeah, good morning, Brenda. Within the last few months, the WNBA commissioner has said Portland is one of the cities the league is considering expanding to. That was part of her response to Senator Ron Wyden, who was advocating for a team to come here to Portland. If the WNBA did expand to include Portland, this wouldn't be the first time the city had a team's franchise. For 3 seasons, the Portland Fire played in the Rose Garden before the franchise folded, posting a total of only 37 wins and 96 losses. Now, that was back in 2002. Fast forward to today, and the talk of a women's team will be front and center as WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert takes part in a roundtable discussion. Sitting at that table will be the head coaches of both Oregon college teams, as well as executives from the Thorns and Blazers and Senator Ron Wyden. The senator is cautiously optimistic Portland will get a WNBA team.
I think we're in the home stretch, looking very well positioned. And you look, for example, at every single point of data. I mean, we're being considered for Final Four finals and things of this nature. It is clear women's sports in Oregon are now an economic juggernaut.
Despite the team's dismal record, attendance actually was pretty good compared to the WNBA games this season. An average of 8,000 fans attended the games back then. Today, that would be good for a second most among current WNBA fans or games. So that got us wondering, would you buy tickets to a game if Portland was awarded a franchise? Taking a look at our Sunrise poll, it looks like, 2/3 are saying no, but obviously there's still time to vote in that poll. Just go to KGW Sunrise channel on Twitter.
Not a scientific poll.
No,
just
not
a
at
little
all. Not
sampling of some of our viewers.
But I mean, a lot of people are, in terms of just talking about women's sports, the Thorns, but then also the Sports Bra in Northeast Portland. That's a new sports bar dedicated to women's sports that opened up this past year, I think.
Yeah. I'd be curious if we put up a poll that said, would you buy tickets to see the Blazers play sometime during the rest of this season, how different those numbers would be. The fact is, if you watch our show but don't live close to Portland, are you really going to drive all the way here to see any basketball game. Anyways, not a scientific poll.
You went to one of the women's games last time around,
it was fun.
right?
And I believe they won that game, if my memory's correct, which makes me think I didn't go to enough games according to the win-loss. But it was fun. I mean, you know, I enjoy going to the arena setting. Here's a look at our weather today. We have quite a bit of rain out there that's moved in over the past hour or so. By the way, this band of clouds, that's tomorrow's front. There are two fronts coming. One is tomorrow and then another one is Friday. So those will be the most active 2 days that we will see this week. But ahead of this, moisture spilling in. We do expect it to remain overcast today. And we've picked up quite a bit of rain. It's mostly light, but the tone of my voice is surprised how much that we are seeing right now. This will be moving through. Now, I don't think we get a lot of rain around this afternoon, but I am continuing the chance of a light shower in the forecast this afternoon and even this evening. Early morning numbers here on the west side under the clouds are pretty comfortable. I mean, we're in the low 40s, even 48 in Astoria, 44 in Portland, 45 degrees out in Pendleton. Here's what our Futurecast movies show, mainly to get you into tomorrow's system. So here we are this morning, cloudy skies. The Futurecast is not picking up the rain we have right now. So again, I would not assume this is going to be dry. I would remember that there could be some light showers around. But here comes the front. First thing tomorrow morning, rain starts to pick up. This is 6:30. Here's 1 o'clock. The front comes into Portland right about noon. So that midday hour is going to be the wettest part of the day in terms of some breezy winds and the rain rates. In the morning, there could be some southwesterlies bouncing between 40 and 50 over at the coast, by the way. More like 15 to 25 mile per hour winds here in the valley, I think. Here we are tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Snow levels start at about 4,000 feet. But get this, by Wednesday morning, the snow levels go all the way down to about 1,500. Now, if you live below 2,000 feet, 1,500 feet, you're probably looking at maybe a couple inches of snow when you wake up Wednesday morning on the ground. Here's how much rain we think we're going to get. This is tomorrow. About an inch at the coast, about a half of an inch up and down the valley. And it shows that we could see another 10 inches at 5,000 feet up in the Cascades. Timberline actually picked up 15 big ones yesterday. Meadows picked up closer to a foot of total snow yesterday. So that was good. And more mountain snow coming tomorrow. 50 today, 49 tomorrow. Dry time would be Wednesday afternoon and Thursday. There's the second front on Friday. That has some lingering showers potentially into Saturday. And of course, Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday. That looks dry right now for us. Hey, I went coffee tasting. Have you been wine tasting? Have you been fancy liqueur, bourbon tasting? I went coffee tasting. Very similar educational experience of Proud Mary Coffee over in Alberta. We'll have that story. They're having a big tasting today. $150 for the cup is what they're featuring. That story coming up.